Okay, guys, top 10. This is the part 2 of my top 25 most watched movies. That doesn't mean that they're the best, although some of these are. But I guess in the number 10 spot, we're pretty close, is the director's edition of Almost Famous. Great movie. I watched it many times. Great soundtrack to this one, of course. And it's just an interesting movie. I mean, it's an interesting story. I almost wish there was such a band. And great movie. And this is the Best Buy exclusive version, but kind of cool there. You can see the glasses pretty well. And that's at number 10. Coming in at number 9 is the Jurassic Park Ultimate Trilogy. I don't know how many times I've watched Jurassic Park in Blu-ray. Numerous times. But I've also watched The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3, believe it or not. I've watched both of those quite often. Just, you know what? Total escapism. And when you want to watch something over and over again, it's got to have that kind of quality. It has to have escapism or comedy or great visuals. And, Jurassic Park has elements of comedy in it. Although, obviously not a ton, but it's got some humorous moments. It's got some certainly epic moments in this. And, Jurassic Park, the first one in particular, just an awesome movie. But all of them have something to be offered. So, Jurassic Park, the Ultimate Trilogy, at number 9. At number 8, go back to the music well. And you're going to see some music here in this top 10. The Complete Monterey Pop Festival at number 8. Reason being, there's so much good music on this thing. First of all, you got Jimi Hendrix and I'm going to draw a blank, right? And Otis Redding at Monterey on a second disc. And the first disc is the Complete Pop Festival, which has just a ton of stuff. The Mamas and the Papas, and the Who is on this. And it's a who's who, basically, of Janis Joplin, Simon and Garfunkel, the Who, the Byrds. Just a ton of great, and then a lot of one-offs too. Major hits that were in the day are on this. It's a 2-disc set from the Criterion Collection, and I watch this one quite often. It's a bit of history, and there's also some fantastic music on this. And for something that was done back in the '60s, this thing is held up well. The sound is great. The video is great for that time period. So. It's just a real great piece of history. So that comes in at 8. At 7 is The Sound of Music, which, anytime the kids want to watch this, they can watch it. And we'll watch it. My wife and I watch it with them. So for that reason, it makes the top 10. You know what? It is a great movie. I mean, at least I like it up until the part where they're escaping the Germans. I don't care for that. But I do like it. I do like a lot of the up to the wedding, I guess, is good for me. And the kids like the whole thing, and my wife likes the whole thing. So, The Sound of Music. Yeah, everybody's seen it. It's a good movie. And this color really jumps out at this, doesn't it? That was 7. And at 6, we've got another comedy. Back to the comedy well, because you know what? You never can get too tired of comedies. And Adam Sandler's Happy Gilmore. I love golf. The kids love Adam Sandler. It's just a hilarious movie. It just has great lines. And what's interesting about a movie that has great lines like this is no matter how many times you hear it, if it's done well, you don't mind hearing it again. So this one makes my top 10 at number 6. That brings me to the top 5. And, tough choices on the top 5. But I think, in fairness, I had to include this next one because it gets watched a lot. I've seen it a lot, and the family's seen it a lot. The Blind Side with Sandra Bullock. I can't say that it's my favorite movie or even close, but this thing gets watched a lot. And it's one of those movies that you can watch it a lot. It just has that element to it. So this one, it makes the top 5, and at number 5, if I'm going to be honest. I got tons of movies I like better than this, but as far as how many times is this thing in the player, does it get watched? And I sit there and watch it as well. A lot. So Sandra Bullock's The Blind Side. If you haven't seen it, I do recommend this movie. I wouldn't say it's a great movie, but you know what? You'll watch it and you'll probably enjoy it. Number 4. Now we're getting to the nitty gritty here. Number 4, Tom Hanks in Forrest Gump. It's the second Tom Hanks movie that's here. you know, what are you going to say? It won 6 Academy Awards, including the Best Picture in 1994. The kids love it. I don't know, what can you say? Tom Hanks. Forrest Gump. Run, Forrest, run. Life's like a box of chocolates. There's just so many great moments in this thing, and each one is a little snippet of history. And somehow they've worked Tom Hanks into all these scenes, and Forrest Gump in all these scenes. So really a great movie, and comes in at number 4. At number 3, and this one, you know, this is my my thing, but people can stomach this one. So this is Bruce Springsteen's Darkness on the Edge of Town on Blu-ray. It is a making of. It includes something called The Promise in here. It includes this notebook, which is huge, and includes actually looks like the actual notebook that Springsteen would have written. I'm a Springsteen fan, so this becomes, you know, something pretty cool. It's got a updated video of the band performing Darkness on the Edge of Town before Clarence Clemens passed away, and kind of redoing it live with no studio audience, which kind of gives it an eerie but kind of effective look. So really like this one, and comes in at number 3. I watch it a lot because there's so much to it. I just keep going back and back to it. And with music, you can tend to do that. Movies, once I know the ending of some movies, you know, it's difficult for me to go back and watch them again, because if there's anything dramatic at the end that's supposed to be like a surprise or something, yeah. Oh, you know what movie I didn't put in here that I probably should have in the top 25? Some place is Gone with the Wind. It's in a box set that I have on Blu-ray. That probably should have made it, but oh well, because my wife and I have watched that quite a few times. But anyway, Darkness on the Edge of Town certainly makes my top 10, and in fact, it makes it in at number 3. Now, move that thing, it's pretty heavy. At number 2 is Goodfellas. I don't know. This movie's got a lot of good to it. It's just one of these movies that I can put it on, watch it. I can watch part of it, come back to it later, watch it almost any time. The digibook is kind of cool. I picked it up pretty cheap, but yeah, it's just a classic movie. And you know, Marty Scorsese. What are you gonna do? Great movie. So yeah, Martin Scorsese. Goodfellas. Great performances by De Niro, Pesci, and I think especially Ray Liotta in the what is the narrator piece here. But I got on the digibook, and it's quite a good movie. Really like Goodfellas. Brings me to number 1, and this is a movie that I've watched I don't know how many times on Blu-ray. I've got it. It's one of the few movies I have a multiple edition, and I have the Steelbook, and I also have the digibook. I have not opened the Steelbook yet, but that's what I'm going to show here. I love this movie, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's exceptionally rewatchable. Almost anywhere in the film you can watch this one and enjoy it, and that is Tim Robbins in The Shawshank Redemption with Morgan Freeman and a great supporting cast in a movie based upon the Stephen King short story Rita Hayworth and The Shawshank Redemption. So that comes in at number 1 for me, The Shawshank Redemption. Love that movie. One of my favorite movies. It would probably make my top 10 movies, I think. But certainly makes one of my most watched. In fact, my most watched Blu-ray. All right, guys. Take care.